This will be part 2. Yeah, it became a bit more busy than I was expecting. But yeah, like, yeah, Trump is just a coward when it comes to Putin, and he needn't be. He really doesn't need to be. And with Nigel Farage making it, you know, saying how the West is the one who started on Russia, when Russia is the one who just in 2008 it invaded Georgia just because it wanted its territory. This isn't like Nigel Farage. I bet you that man has been taking money from Russia. We already know that one of his partners has been taking money from Russia when we were still in the EU, parroting Russian lines. This isn't a story. This isn't opinion. This is known facts. The guy got fucking done for it. I really wish the West would grow a fucking spine. Oh. That fucking... I heard Labour is doing brought out the Green Industrial Plan, 400,000 new jobs by 2030. This is good. This is real good. As I said before, I've noted that there are many projects, green energy projects, starting up all over the southwest. Not just but in particular because I'm in the southwest, but it's actually starting up all over the country, and not just in England. It's all over the island, and offshore on the island. So off the shore of the island. You get my point. What are you up to, Moffat? Eh? Well, give it here then. What did you leave it over there for? Donut. I've got, politically speaking, I have a problem. Because I do consider myself a socialist, and I do want radical changes. However, for me, what I see isn't just what we need to do, but what we need to do before we do what we need to do. And what we need to do before we need to do before what we need to do. It's called critical path analysis. Find it. Find that ball. Find it then. Where is your ball gone? Did you find it? You good girl. Ow. So, I mean, to create wealth taxes, to get wealth taxes, we need to create a situation where wealth taxes, 1, are going to be welcomed, 2, are actually feasible, and 3, the money is actually going to cut, the money that's actually thought that will come in will actually come in. We need to make sure all these things will happen. To get that done, there's a whole shit we need to get people into power who are of these opinions. We need to get we need to work on moving public opinion on this. It really does annoy me when people shout wealth taxes. Tax the wealthy. It's simple, just tax the wealthy. It's simple. Let's just tax the wealthy. 7 words. Hang on. It's simple. Just tax the wealthy. 6 words, right? Those 6 words are really pissing me off. Not because I disagree with them. But because a lot of people who keep saying those 6 words don't actually have a realistic plan for doing so. Where's your ball? Where's that ball? Find that ball. You finding it? Did you find it, did you? You good girl. So, yeah, I get the anger with the Labour government. I just think people should slow down a bit. Measure their expectations, because no matter what Labour do, the damage the Tories have done, they're not going to be turned around quickly. I had someone try to argue with me earlier, what about just after the Second World War? The Bretton Woods Agreement. Not only that, but again, rationing was still happening until 1954. And also, the country had been brought down to rubble. So yeah. The situation back then is not the situation today. It isn't. And then people try to compare it to Blair's government in 97. And once again, I have to tell people that what Blair's government took over isn't as bad as what Labour had to take over this time. Do you know the biggest differences between the war, the aftermath of the Second World War, and now? Unity. Public unity. There was a lot more unity after the war, social unity after the war, than there is now. Which is also why wealth taxes were a lot more plausible. Why can't Labour do this? Why can't Labour do that? Why can't Labour do what we did before? Well, because the material circumstances aren't the fucking same. That's why. It'd be nice if people who call themselves on the left would learn a bit of Marxism. Material circumstances are inherently influential on outcomes. I'm sorry, they just are, for the most part. And this is one of those occasions, you know? This is where I get frustrated with my own allies on the left. We know... Hello. We know Nigel Farage is dangerous. We know the Tories were dangerous. We know how dangerous Trump is. But we still have to find ways to argue with with each other on the left. It's no wonder that the fascists are on the uprise. It really isn't. I'm someone who believes in the nationalisation of all public services, all of them. I'm the type of person who believes in heavy regulation of capitalism. I'm someone who believes that education should be free at all ages. Healthcare should be free. I'm someone who knows, not just believes, but knows that we as a species would not be so successful without migration. I like the science. But I am practical, and I recognise we live in a democracy. It's a flawed democracy, don't get me wrong, but it's a democracy nonetheless. And because we live in a democracy, not every, like we have to, quite often we do actually have to find compromise. That is necessary. So I hope people don't think I'm being a dick, but it does wind me up a bit. Oh, it's one of those things where when you've got people like Nigel Farage trying to poison the political well and make society, that much more aggressive and dangerous, it's no wonder people start losing trust in all their politicians, because all the other politicians are then minded to try and match Farage when Farage's politics is not what we fucking need. In fact, we need the exact opposite of Nigel Farage. Because Nigel Farage, all he wants to do is continue to split people up. Make people angry at one another. You doing, Muppet? Good girl, Petra. No, I got your frisbee. I got your frisbee. Go on then. This will be a three-parter. Sorry, guys.